Once upon a time, in a place called Neca in Enugu State, there lived a young girl named Neca. She was just 18 years old, but she was determined to make a living for herself. Neca was skilled at braiding hair, and she would spend her days weaving intricate patterns for the women in her community. Neca's braids were admired by many, and soon she started to earn a decent income from her work. She was proud of what she had achieved, and she dreamed of saving enough money to go to school and pursue her dreams. However, Neca's life took a dark turn when she met a girl named Ada. Ada was charming and persuasive, and she quickly became friends with Neca. But Ada had a secret agenda. She was involved in dark rituals to make quick money. At first, Neca was hesitant to get involved, but Ada promised her riches beyond her wildest dreams. Desperate to escape poverty, Neca eventually gave in to Ada's persuasion and agreed to participate in the rituals. But as the days passed, Neca's life started to unravel. She began experiencing strange nightmares and feelings of guilt. And then, one day, she woke up to find herself in a situation she never could have imagined. What happens next? Does Neca find a way to escape from the dark path she's been led down, or will she be consumed by the consequences of her choices? "We have to do one last thing," Ada said, her voice trembling with anticipation. "And then, we'll have all the money we ever dreamed of." Neca's heart sank as she realized the depth of her mistake. She had been foolish to trust Ada, and now she was trapped in a nightmare of her own making. But as Ada outlined their plan, Neca knew that she had to find a way out, no matter the cost. With a heavy heart, Neca followed Ada into the night, her mind racing with fear and regret. She knew that she had to find a way to break free from the grip of darkness that had consumed her life. But as she looked into the abyss, she wondered if she would ever find the strength to escape. As Neca and Ada ventured deeper into the night, the air grew heavy with anticipation and the weight of their choices. Neca's heart pounded in her chest as they approached the secluded spot where Ada said their final task would take place. But as they reached the eerie clearing surrounded by dense trees, Neca's instincts screamed at her to run. She glanced at Ada, who seemed unnervingly calm, and she knew she couldn't go through with it. "I can't do this," Neca whispered, her voice barely audible above the rustling leaves. Ada's eyes narrowed, and for a moment, Neca feared her friend's reaction. But then, Ada's expression softened, and she reached out to grasp Neca's hand. "It's okay," Ada said gently. "You don't have to do anything you don't want to." Relief flooded through Neca as she realized that Ada understood. With tears streaming down her face, she turned and ran, her heart racing with fear and determination. As she fled into the darkness, Neca vowed to leave behind the darkness that had threatened to consume her. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew that she had the strength to face it, one step at a time. With each step Neca took, the weight lifted from her shoulders, and hope began to blossom within her heart. She ran through the night, guided only by the light of the moon, her thoughts racing as fast as her feet. As dawn broke, Neca found herself on the outskirts of Neca, the familiar sights and sounds of her home bringing her a sense of comfort she hadn't felt in days. She knew she couldn't return to her old life, not after everything that had happened, but she also knew that she couldn't let her past define her future. Determined to make amends for her mistakes, Neca set out to rebuild her life. She found work in a small hair salon in the heart of Neca, using her skills to bring joy to those around her. With each braid she wove, she found a sense of purpose and fulfillment that she had never experienced before. But despite her newfound happiness, Neca couldn't shake the memories of her encounter with Ada and the darkness that had threatened to consume her. She knew that she had been lucky to escape, but she also knew that there were others out there who might not be so fortunate. And so, fueled by a desire to protect others from falling into the same trap she had, Neca vowed to use her voice to speak out against the dangers of greed and temptation. She became an advocate for young girls in her community, sharing her story and warning others of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. As time passed, Neca's courage and resilience inspired those around her, and her efforts to make a difference in the world earned her the respect and admiration of her community. And though the scars of her past would always remain, Neca knew that she had the power to shape her own destiny and to make a positive impact on the world around her. Neca's journey taught her, and those around her, several valuable lessons. Trust your instincts. Neca learned the hard way that listening to her gut feelings could save her from harm. When something feels wrong, it's important to trust those instincts and make the right choices. Choose your friends wisely. Ada appeared to be a friend, but she led Neca down a dangerous path. Surrounding yourself with positive influences who support and uplift you is crucial for your well-being. Resist temptation. The promise of quick riches tempted Neca, but she ultimately realized that true wealth comes from living with integrity and making ethical choices. Stand up for what's right. Even when faced with difficult circumstances, Neca found the courage to walk away from darkness and choose the path of righteousness. It's important to have the strength to stand up for what's right, even when it's not the easiest option. Use your experiences to help others. Neca's journey inspired her to become an advocate for change in her community. She used her voice to warn others of the dangers she had faced, ultimately making a positive impact on the lives of those around her. In the end, Neca's story serves as a reminder that no matter how dark the path may seem, there is always hope for redemption and a chance to make a difference in the world.